as we say, ooh, man, first time talking this morning. As we say every single Monday morning, especially on Christmas, it is a vibe, and Merry Christmas. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy, pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee here on Christmas Day on Nerd Affiliated. So happy to have all of you here with us today. It's probably going to be a more chill Nerdy Coffee. I failed to get the holiday lights like a lot of other YouTubers. Dropped the ball on that. But I figured I'd at least dress for the occasion. Got some orange juice out of the Nerd Affiliated pint glass. It's just orange juice. I promise you. Have some coffee. And we will talk the news. Not too much today. A couple things. End of the year. As the year winds down, usually people take their vacations, news kind of winds down, that kind of thing. But we got some stuff to talk about. If you have a YouTube channel, podcast, blog, vlog, OnlyFans, newsletter, smoke signals, whatever it may be, put it in the chat. Support one another. Plug your shits. Plug your shits. Like I said, more of a chill session today, in my opinion. But you know what I'll do too? I will throw the link. Ooh, I almost banned. Hang on. Man, I'm congested today. I almost banned Rolando by mistake. I clicked on the chat box, and where the mouse was, it said ban. It's like, confirm you want to ban Rolando? It's like, no. Absolutely not. I threw a link in the chat, so if you want to jump on this morning's show, you're more than welcome. It is myself and sweet Turbo Man today. Love this figure. I'm not gonna lie. I'm shocked. When the Turbo Man figure came out, probably 2 years ago, maybe, when Funko released Turbo Man, the initial run sold out because it wasn't really everywhere. Similar to what happens these days. A new figure drops, a couple YouTubers hunt for it, so then everybody hunts for it. Then it died off. And Turbo Man was a shelf warmer, collecting dust, the whole thing. And I'm not sure why. It's a really good... I mean, is it the exact Turbo Man from the movie? No, because it's still Funko. But it's still just a fun purchase. So I'm not really sure why this thing shelf warmed for so long. I don't even know if you can get it anymore. It's probably clearanced out in various places or ended up in the landfill. But hopefully another Turbo Man run happens and people can get their hands on one if they didn't get a chance. But let's say hi to everybody in the chat, of course. EC collecting in the house. Since it's a more festive day, as my voice continues to break, I'll use the soundboard today. I should have had some holiday sounds, but it's all right. It's all right. EC in the house. You got the notification this time, I see. So that's good to see. The man I almost banned, Rolando, in the house. Good to see you. Dave's Dimension in the house. Good to see you. T3 in the house. I give T3 a lot of credit because he's West Coast time. And I think Rolando, what are you, West Coast or Mountain time? So you guys wake up pretty early to catch this show. So greatly appreciated. Everybody saying hi to each other. Love that. As Dave said, smack that like button. Yes, Rolando's on the naughty list. It's true. It is true. Louie in the house. Good to see you. You just got a new belt, which I'm loving. Actually, let me hang on for a second. You might hear an echo, so I apologize, everybody, for that. I'm going to gift some wrenches today. Let's do that. Let's go to here and boom. I think I caught it. So I don't like that they like adding somebody as a moderator is like the bottom of the list of items. Like banning is up there, blocking someone's there. I hate that. It should be like top. Do you want to add this person as a moderator? So we're dropping some wrenches today. Let's see. I think everybody else that's here today already has one. Yeah. All right. I think we're set, but I'll leave this up just in case. Just in case I don't make it home tonight. You guys remember that song? But actually, you know what? We're going to see if we can find Turbo Man. Wow, the garbage truck came today. Holy shit. No rest for the wicked. All right, we are on Amazon. That's Box Office Mojo. That's crazy. I feel bad for that guy. Why is he having to pick up trash on Christmas Day? All right, so they have some Turbo Man Funkos, the smaller ones, an ugly sweater. That's a pretty good one. But alas, the large one's not on Amazon. I thought for sure it would be there. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Turbo Man action figure. Oh, is it still on Walmart? Out of stock. But you can check nearby stores. So I'll put a link in the chat so you guys can check your area, see if there's one floating around somewhere. What else we got? Amazon, unavailable. That's crazy. Because like I said, it shelf warmed for a very long time. 60 bones on eBay. Oh, man. Oh, somebody's got it for 35 on Whatnot. 22 on Macari. Look at that. Oh, is this... Was there an original run on this? This might be a stupid question. I didn't know there was. Or is this just the same figure? It looks the same. Interesting. It looks the same to me. But I guess there was an original run of Turbo Man. So there you go. Let's continue saying hi to everyone. Let's see. I had to get my Turbo Man. There you go. So yeah, hopefully EC you can get yourself Turbo Man. I thought I woke up late for work this morning. It's funny. K-Walk in the house. Good to see you. Merry Christmas to all the nerds in the house. May you guys watch the best Christmas movie of all time, Die Hard, on this fine day. Because it's a Christmas movie. It is a Christmas movie. All right. So if you've not had a chance, of course, type this up. You can tell I woke up late today. Didn't have everything locked and loaded. That's right. It's a holiday. Make sure you head over to Nerd Affiliated. Oh, man. Make sure you head over to nerdaffiliated.com your one-stop shop for all the links to today. Kathy, it's a Christmas movie. All the links to our recent episodes, clips, podcasts, all that fun stuff. You can, of course, find the audio version on the site and pick up some sweet, sweet merch over at the Nerd Affiliated stores. So make sure you head over there. Sad to say it will not arrive in time for Christmas. Sorry. But you can still get some cool stuff. So nerdaffiliated.com for all of that. And then, of course, you can join the Nerd Foundation for $1. A $1 chuck. Appreciate you all. So, as I said, not too much today. More of a just chill session through the link in the chat. So if anybody does want to jump on, you're more than welcome. Aquaman? Aquaman, anybody? Has anybody seen Aquaman? Let us head to Box Office Mojo. Louis, you have to. Oh wait, K-Walk says, "I wish I could sew. I'd get that patch." I think you can iron it on. Yeah, we got the iron on back. So what I have done with all of mine is I iron it first, then I go through and stitch it so it doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, it's an iron-on patch. Gotcha. Louis says, I'm in today making that bread. I am sorry if you are at work today. But I hope it's a relaxing day. I hope it's not too crazy for you. You said you haven't seen it. EC hasn't seen it. Louis says, I heard good things about it, but I saw the numbers. Oh, man, yep. One of the most boring comic book movies ever made. Wow. The only reason I'm going to say that's a hot take coming from T3 is because you generally, I would say, give most movies a pass. Like, I don't think you're too harsh. You're not as harsh as I am or some others here on the channel when it comes to movies. Like, I feel like you appreciate the movie experience and all of that. So for you to say something's very boring, especially a superhero movie, that says a lot. It says a lot. It is. It changes the story. There you go. Louis says, my sister saw it and she loved it. All right. Fair. Let me move this over so it's more in the shot. There we go. So it opened up this weekend at 28.1 million, ahead of Wonka, Migration, Anyone But You, and Solar, if that's correct, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a sad world when your top 5 is rounded out by a movie that only made 5.5 million on a holiday weekend, because it's still a holiday weekend technically. Kids are off from school. The world's your oyster. But the other one that was kind of shocking, The Iron Claw, 5 million, came in 6th place opening weekend. I thought that this may get a little bit more of a push because Zac Efron's in it, but maybe that was the entire push. That 5 million was, a couple wrestling fans, maybe a couple ladies who were like, oh, I used to like Zac Efron. Let me go, see his movie or whatever. But I'm shocked it was that low. But this being a dead horse here, I continue to say that all of these movies and movies coming down the pipe need to be designed and budgeted for in-home release. End of story. I mean, this here is pretty sad for for a holiday weekend. So at this point, read the room, make stuff for dual release. If it ends up in theaters and people really want to see it, they'll go see it. Godzilla -1, great example. That one could be at home release too. If people want the full experience, to go there. We saw success with Five Nights at Freddy. Is it on the list still? It might have fallen off the list by now. Yeah, but real quick before we go into Aquaman more, Five Nights at Freddy's. So ended up pulling in 289 million. And Five Nights was a dual release. It was on Peacock, the next day or following week or something like that. So it can be done. And if people really want to support the movie and see it on the big screen, they'll go to the theater as well. But I feel like you need to do both. And just doing one is not, it's not going to cut it anymore. It hasn't for a long time. Let me go back up here. K-Walk says, will they just include today's openings? Not yet. Because technically it wouldn't count for the first weekend, even though it's, a holiday weekend. But you'll see here that the movie, it did open up a little bit earlier. So it's at 40 million already, but on the opening weekend was 28. So they had it rolling going into the opening weekend. Similar to, was it Mission Impossible that opened up earlier because of Oppenheimer, if I remember? T3 says, now Iron Claw, that is fantastic. Depressing, yes, but damn good. That's what that movie should be. Godzilla -1 was really good. Good story. It's up there with Shin Godzilla. Five Nights at Freddy was day and date. Day and date? You mean like the release date was the same as the streaming? But yeah, so Aquaman here, destined to fail from the jump. I don't know if we're gonna do an end of year show for sure. I don't know if it will be an award show. I don't know. I mean, I want to do an award show like we did last year. I'm not sure when that'll be, but evil villain of the year by far, Ezra Miller. He single-handedly, in my opinion, brought down the DCEU, and he got his sidekick Amber Heard to assist in the downfall. So this movie was destined to fail from the start. Destined to fail. When you watch the trailer, as we have identified, it looks just like the first movie. Nothing different. So I don't think Jason Momoa stood a chance overshadowing superhero fatigue, Amber Heard, which ruins the plot, is what I'm leaning towards there. Because she's in the movie, but not really in the movie. And he doesn't defeat Ezra Miller, completely ruining where the direction of the entire franchise would go. Can't beat him. So, destined to fail. This will be a watch from home, maybe. I'd have to really be bored to watch it. But, we'll see. I've already watched reviews on it. I rarely do that, especially if it's something we're going to talk about here on the channel. Usually I'll hold off on reviews until I watch it, review it, and then I'll see what other people have said. But in this case, I didn't care. So I watched some reviews and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm all set there. Villain of the year, WB Management. Yeah, it's up there. Why is everybody picking on Ezra? Ezra did it to himself. Rambling Nerd in the house. Good to see you. Yeah, I'll watch Aquaman eventually, but it'll probably be a while. when I have nothing else to watch. Exactly. I think it's a three-way tie. Warner Brothers CEO Davis Zaloff, Hasbro CEO Chris Cox, and then Ezra. I don't know if I give Hasbro CEO villain of the year. I think in a Darth Sidious kind of way, like, maybe he's like at the end of the story, you're like, oh shit, it was you this whole time. Maybe it's one of those. I don't think he was villain the whole time. I would give it to the Warner Brothers CEO first before him. I mean, as you kind of listed there, I'd give it to Warner Brothers there because they decided to continue pushing the Ezra Miller thing. Like, they had every opportunity to swap him out, scrap the movie, everything. There's so many options they could have done, and they decided to continue to push forward. So I would give him, I don't even know if it'd be like villain as much as like idiot award, but Ezra is like the true villain. Like, Ezra destroyed all of it, like destroyed everything. Now, let's nerd out and go to the Excel sheet here where we talk the numbers. And at the very bottom here, the most recent release, you have Aquaman 2. Opened at 28.1. Total domestic at the moment is 40 and is sitting at 120. So it's gonna pass Blue Beetle. It would take some sort of miracle for it to not pass Blue Beetle. Miracle meaning like if you're betting on it, which I wonder if there's like sport betting for movies. So opened up ahead of Blue Beetle, and you could see. Let me filter down for. I had here we go, franchise. Clear all Snyderverse. So if we're talking all the Snyderverse movies, you could see there was quite a run up to Wonder Woman where the opens were impressive. They were impressive. Oddly enough, this was interesting when I was looking at the numbers last night. What's up, LeBron? Good to see you. When I was looking at the opening numbers last night, it was interesting to see that it dropped after Wonder Woman, because I feel like we all agree Wonder Woman's a really good movie. I could be wrong, but I think most people have Wonder Woman in their top 3 DC EU movies. Correct me if I'm wrong. So it was interesting to see that drop. But you see here, total domestic, it ended up beating everybody else by far. So I wonder what the deal was that weekend, that it opened up a little bit on the lower side. But then you get to Justice League, and I was shocked that was a lower open, because you're coming off the heels of Wonder Woman, which performed very well. So maybe it was the reviews on that one, the trailer, could have been a number of things. There's so many issues going into it that, with a change of director when Snyder unfortunately lost his daughter. So I feel like the change happening was more so known by us super nerds than the casual person, but not sure why that took a nosedive there. JB in the house, good to see you. Merry Christmas to you and to LeBron as well. But you can see it's a slow, steady decline after that. You hit COVID with Wonder Woman 84. And then you have the Suicide Squad. And it's just no bueno from there. The Flash. You have the Flash there at 268 million total. So it's still performed decently compared to what we have now. Let me add in the filter for the Gunverse, because Blue Beetle was the first movie technically in the James Gunn universe. Open was terrible, but you had the strikes going on. Total domestic 72, total 129. What I do wish we could see at some point is, where do DVD numbers and home release numbers fit into this? I think that would really help in us determining if something's truly a success or not. But Wonder Woman 84 was the beginning of the end as far as profits go on the DC movies by a long shot. Something else I want to look at. Let's put all these on, and all right, so we have Marvel. I'm curious, we always talk about the superhero fatigue. Endgame is, to me, like, that's the demarcation line. Like, once Endgame happens, everything kind of, in my opinion, would change after that. And you can see it opened up at 357 million, and nothing touches that from that point on. Total box office, $2 billion. I had to really double check there. $2 billion. Spider-Man. Why is that? I think that's out of order. Hang on. Doesn't seem right. So we had Far From Home, and then we had No Way Home, I thought. Oh, right, because Tony's dead. Yeah. So following that, the only things to cross $1 billion were Spider-Man movies, and Doctor Strange almost did it. 955. Black Panther, no. Yeah. So you could even say Endgame was almost that beginning of the end for the entire superhero franchise or movie space. Wasn't assisted by COVID and was not assisted by the strikes. So we need something fresh. We need something fresh out there. And maybe Superman Legacy does it. Symbol means hope. But at the moment, all these franchises are DOA unless you get Tom Holland to carry everything. Going back to the comments here. K-Walk says, what award would the Nick Cage cameo get? In The Flash? 10 out of 10. Because that was a cameo nobody saw it coming, right? Most people, I don't think, saw any of the cameos coming. But it's one that flew so far over people's heads when it arrived. 10 out of 10. Actually, no, 9 out of 10. It would have been a 10 if he actually showed up. EC says, Endgame was a grand finale for me. Yeah. I know I'm alone, but I didn't hate the Flash movie. No, you're not. I thought it was great. I thought it was great for the silliness that came with it. Like, going into the movie, I've and most of us, I think, agree, but you guys can correct me. Batman vs. Superman, Snyder Cut, showed us that you could still have some humor and the dark stuff in the same DC movie, right? In the current movies. So we've been kind of chasing that ever since. Flashpoint is an amazing story, amazing comic book. So going into the movie, I was like, all right, I hope that we get more of the serious stuff. We have some Flash humor. Like, he should be the light in all the darkness of the Flashpoint universe. And the second he put a baby in a microwave, I was like, oh, okay. That's not what this is. This is not that movie. This is not that movie. And I shut my brain off, sat there, and I was like, yeah, this entertained me. And I said it in my review or my thoughts. the movie made me hate Man of Steel more than I already did. So you could either say that makes Flash a better movie or it makes it a worse movie. But I enjoyed it. JB says Endgame drew a line in the sand. Yep. Louis also enjoyed Flash. There you go. K-Walk asks, do you update those numbers or are you running macros in Google Sheets to pull those figures? I should look up how to do that. That would be easier, but no, I manually update these numbers. The thing is, at a certain point, they're not really updating anymore. So if I go back here, you know, for the last weekend's numbers, there's only 28 movies on here. So, and I don't even update or add most of these to the list. So, I'll update Oppenheimer because that's on here. I didn't talk about Killer Flowers of the Moon. The Killers of Flower Moon. I didn't really talk about it because it's not really our genre here. Maybe Thanksgiving I could have added, but there's not too many movies on here for me to add. And then after a while, it kind of just fizzles off, So I update it manually, but it's not the hardest job or anything like that. It's pretty easy to do. Well, all I do is I'll specify again. All I do is update total domestic and total international. The rest of it just adds on its own. Let's turn off. Let's go here. So yeah, so right now, Godzilla -1 is doing very well. It is profitable. Wonka is estimated to be profitable. And the shocking one was Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That is also profitable. So there'll definitely be more Hunger Game movies coming out. I think we already assumed that, but when I saw that movie was coming out, I was like, I didn't think there was a demand for Hunger Games, but sure enough, there was. Louis says, you never forget the summer of Batman. The marketing for that was insane. Batmania ran wild in 89. Yeah. He also said, I enjoyed Flash for what it was. Plus, they gave us Batman 89 on the big screen again. The movie was nothing but nostalgia. So, nostalgia, it's funny. We talk about it a lot in the toy community because a lot of things that we're buying are nostalgia based. Also in music. I was watching this segment on PBS to get old man nerdy here. And they're talking about the staying power of classic Christmas songs versus newer ones not doing very well and not having that kind of power, with the exception of the most recent is probably Mariah Carey, her Christmas album, but everything else is old stuff. And part of that draw they were saying is the nostalgia factor. You just hear those songs, takes you back to when you were a kid, back before you had all the, songs are made on a computer, like it's string instrument songs, big band songs, so the nostalgia factor is what keeps Christmas music going and why people love it so much. So yes, that's why a lot of us wanted to see this movie. At the same time, I think the nostalgia well is running dry. And talking of Ghostbusters, this new movie cannot be nostalgia bait like the first one of the new series. So we got to start getting some new stuff. T3 says top selling DVD, not Blu-ray, of 2023 is actually pretty shocking. You're gonna fill us in on that, or was that the list up here? But you have retracted it on YouTube. So if it's Black Adam, that's wild. That is wild. All right. Other things that came out this week, or probably 2 weeks ago at this point, that I've been enjoying. Reacher, new season of Reacher is out there. Oh, you said Black Adam, 278,000, but then you wrote 5 million. What do you mean? Why do you have 2 sets of number? Or do you mean DVD and Blu-ray? Is that what's going on? Do you think Kristen Wiig will be in the new Ghostbusters movie? Honestly, I'd be fine with that. I enjoyed the 2016. I watched it the other day. I talked about it on one of the streams, or I talked about it again with Great Scott Prop Shop. I enjoyed the movie. I just wish it wasn't a full reboot. If it wasn't a full reboot, you could incorporate them into this. At the moment, if you incorporated them, it'd have to be some sort of multiverse thing. Or, actually, you do the reverse of what they did in their movie. So you can have them in the new series not playing the same characters they were playing in 2016. So that would be that'd be a way around it. But yeah, Reacher, tell you, Reacher is a good show. Reacher is really, really good. Right now, we are 4 episodes in. This week will be 5. I've not seen episode 4 yet, but enjoying what I'm seeing so far. I feel like every season, even though it's only 2, but every season, our man Alan's getting bigger and bigger. So at some point, he's going to be bulletproof as the show goes on. Duffman, good to see you. Gotta drop that wrench for Duffman. Let's see here. Where we at? Everybody's getting wrenches today. But yeah, so far so good on Reacher. Really enjoying it. And the other thing that came out that I did not enjoy as much, What If Season 2. And I think they're doing daily drops. So we're probably 3-4 episodes in. I don't know. It's something to put on TV. Like the first one's about if Nebula had joined the Nova Corps. It's, I don't know. It feels like they were just. It's very much a show in episode 1 that they're like, all right, we need to make another Marvel thing, so let's just make this. The storyline didn't make sense to me. Plot didn't make sense. The resolution didn't make sense. So I was like, I didn't really need this. But I'll keep watching What If. You know, it's 20-minute episodes, so it's not the worst. So T3 says, as far as Black Adam, it sold 278, we'll say round it up, 279,000 units, making 5.6 million. Black Adam on DVD. Is The Rock just buying them? I'd believe that. Because I don't know a single person who, well, no, that's not true. There are people who liked it. I don't know why. There are people who liked it, but I don't know anybody in my personal life who's like, oh, I loved Black Adam. I'm rewatching it. I'm buying the DVD, all that stuff. People brought the figures because some of the figures were really cool. But sorry about my voice today, guys. Louis says, K-Walk, I'm there with you, dude. The biggest surprise cameo for me was George Reeves. I didn't expect to see him, I'm guessing, but it was awesome to see some old school acknowledgement. Yeah. The Flash needed Dean Cain, and the Flash, who was the other one? There was somebody else. I was pissed off about the Christopher Reeve one because the CGI was so bad with him. God, who was the other person I was thinking of? It'll come to me. There was somebody else where I was like, oh, why aren't they here for this like Superman cameo? And it wasn't Smallville. It wasn't Tom. I'll say Tom Hiddleston, whatever his name is, that does Superman and Lois. It wasn't him. There was somebody else. I think the biggest miss on a cameo in the last couple years, in my opinion, was in Spider-Man No Way Home, or whichever the last one was. I always get the names confused. I was mad that we didn't get the voice actor from the animated series in that or Spider-Verse. He wasn't in either one. And the actor that played live action Spider-Man in the 1970s show. He wasn't in either one either. I think those are some of the biggest L's in the last couple of years as far as cameos go. Let's see. The Christopher Reeve's whack attempt pissed me off. Yeah, it looks so bad. I would have, if I was calling the shots on that movie, that's probably one of the few things I would have been like, just take that out completely. Don't even waste your time. Just leave it out. What I didn't like about the movie is they didn't answer the question about who killed his mom. And I think if you really wanted to lean into this story of him kind of turning, spoiler alert for Flash, by the way. If you really wanted to lean into the story of him, of a variant of him turning evil, then the evil version should have killed his mom. But it seems like at the end of the day, they couldn't commit to it. And it's a kid's movie, so they couldn't lean into it. But I feel like that was a perfect opportunity. One version of him turns into Dark Flash, Reverse Flash, whatever you want to call him. And then he's like, well, the only way to make you stronger is to at least guarantee that you become the Flash. I'm going to go back and do what's required to make you become the Flash. And he goes back in time and he kills his own mom. That would have been the move. Then I would have standing ovation that movie if they committed to that. But, couldn't do it. As a big Christopher Reeve Superman fan, it was bad, but it was good to see both him and Helen Slater. Yeah. Director confirmed Reverse Flash killed his mom, but they didn't show it. And sorry, I didn't need to see the actual murder, but it wasn't blatant. You need a director to say that. Just like how Dave Filoni confirmed that Ahsoka was in the world between worlds or whatever. You can't tell me after the fact. It's got to be part of it. So, yeah. Before we leave, I'll do 2 checks. We'll check Hasbro, and we'll check Target. Because I want to see if anything's on sale. Now that we're into Christmas week, usually Sunday night is when they put the new sales up at Target. Yes, I'm all about the murder. All right, so the Spider-Man figures are still sold out, still not on sale. Let's see here. They announced the new Batman animated series wave. The cell shading is absolutely killing this line. I hate it. Where's that one picture? This one here. It looks like he peed himself. Why can't I zoom in on it? It's terrible. I wanted this line to win so badly, but no dice. Let's see. Usually what I like to do is type in Marvel Legends. So, looks like the Disney Plus wave back up to full price. Yep. So the $7.99 and $9.99 sale on the Marvel Legends is over. Let's look at WWE Elite. That sale is over. Back to full price. Going to Hasbro. We'll check the clearance page. Before we do that, though, so this sold out. And I'm curious, did any of you pick up this Wolverine Sabretooth 2-pack. I am not a fan of the Wolverine head sculpts. Now, you probably swap this for one of the other figures where he's actually growling. But I feel like they were trying to go with animated series here, but like not a full commit to the animated series. So I didn't go all in on this. EC pre-ordered it. Nice. T3 also did. All right. Hopefully you guys can review it. Let me know your thoughts on it. I really want a animated series Sabretooth, like a full animated series Sabretooth. I'm down paying a deluxe price for Sabretooth. If they made a Juggernaut animated series, like a good one, I'd pay deluxe for that. Colossus, for sure. So going to the clearance section up here. Prices have not really changed. $19. Isn't it wild that $19 is clearance for Hasbro? I guess Chris is the villain. I guess he is the actual villain. Wow, $25 clearance. $25 is clearance for this one. Comes with a whip, a monkey, and that's literally it. $25 for Indiana Jones with a whip and a monkey. Clearance. Yeah. It's like they're trying to fail on purpose sometimes. I swear. I think Hasbro should do what GameStop does. Not only do you get free shipping, but you get an additional percentage off if you're a member. At least you guarantee people are going to buy. When you have a membership with a discount, there's an added loyalty people have when it comes to buying your figures. So they should totally have that. I don't know why they don't have that. Absurd, yeah. I might need a cowboy in my Bad Gangsters Cantina. You gonna pay $25 for that indie? I definitely. I mean, I would definitely pick up this figure. I love Temple of Doom. Apparently, that's a hot take. Learned that recently this year. But $21 no. $21 on these old, not double jointed bodies. Yeah, not a thing. I did. Oh, great. You like it too. Something I watched. I meant to watch it, and I'll end here. I meant to watch it and do a reaction, and I didn't, so I kind of regret it. But there was an interview I watched between Shartimus and the Marvel Legends team. Let's see, Marvel Legends team. Let's see here. I don't really watch Shartimus at all. He oddly looks a lot like my old manager too. I got to do a side by side with him. But this came across as a suggested video for me. I'm glad it did. I meant to do a watch along, react to it. I didn't. And it was really good. Because what I continue to like about the Marvel Legends team, and I should have timestamped it so I can come back to this later, but what I like about the team is a lot of times they address criticism straight on. And they remind you they don't do certain things on purpose to like mess with you. Their whole thing is always going to be money, and they have to make money. That's their job. They addressed in this interview here, and I'll throw a link in the the chat for you guys. They addressed the Renew Your Vows 2-packs. Sorry. Sorry about that. They announced the Renew Your Vows 2-pack Spider-Man body as being the best Spider-Man body. And why it is that we don't get that body consistently. Essentially, they have their molds, right? They have their molds. They're pumping out figures. But they have limited resources as far as whatever that process is to make a figure. So let's say that you're putting out the Scarlet Spider-Man figure. Like, we know that Scarlet Spider-Man is going to kill it. People want this figure. Let's put all of our effort into this figure. They start making it. They're making more probably than they usually do. But let's say there's an MCU movie coming out. Spider-Man No Way Home. We got to pump out Spider-Man figures for that too. We're not going to stop if we're going to gamble it. We're not going to stop production on the Renew Your Vows body on Scarlet Spider to make a Tom Holland Spider-Man, because whatever metrics we're doing shows that this one's going to outsell this one. So let's use whatever machine on the old mold to make the Tom Holland body. And then you get them and you're like, wait, why aren't they the same body? It's because whatever system they use to make them, they can't make everything on that same system. They have to still put out figures, so they use older molds, older systems to make them. So they were kind of leading towards, if everything was to be higher quality, then you're going to have to pay more and you get less volume of figures. I think a la SH Figure Arts is where you would be going. So there's an argument to be had there, if that would be the move to make. Also, they brought up the idea and the concept of, and they couldn't go into specifics, like they can't really go into pricing structure and how they come up with prices. They can't do that. But what it sounded like, maybe one day I'll interview somebody here and they can let me know. It sounded like when you have a wave come out, as you know, not all those figures in the wave are created equal. Some may have more accessories, some may be a new mold, etc. Think of it as you're budgeted X amount of dollars to make a wave, and some of the figures, technically, with all the new stuff and accessories, cost more than what the average figure would cost. So they pump out a couple figures that cost less than what a standard figure costs, so that they can make everything priced equal and keep pumping waves out. So something I didn't really think about or consider until this interview. Maybe crossed my mind at one point, but I had no proof. It was just maybe a thought. But hearing them kind of allude to that, it definitely makes more sense. It makes more sense as you see waves and we're like, hey, think about great example, the X-Men 97 wave. X-Men 97, I was watching Dave. I was watching his review. Let me pull that up real quick. So Dave is currently pumping out some reviews, dropping them, I believe, daily at this point. And in the Magneto review, one of the things he shouted out was a lack of accessories. Magneto literally came with just 2 hands, and that was it. But let's go back, look at Wolverine. Wolverine comes with 2 hands, additional head sculpt, and additional pulled back cowl. What's up, General? Good to see you. Also different than the VHS set because he's pinless, double jointed. So they put all their effort, money into this figure, scale back another figure, maybe like the Magneto figure. So hearing that, I'm like, all right, it makes sense how they scale some of these things. And on another stream, they talked about they didn't know that the 97 show was happening until they had already started the VHS collection. So that's why there's going to be some overlap in terms of, I just got a Wolverine, why do I want another Wolverine? Or I just got Cyclops, why am I going to buy another Cyclops? Because they were already all steam ahead on the cel-shaded VHS set. And then Marvel says, hey, by the way, X-Men 97 is coming out. We need figures. They're like, damn. Got to start that wave, slow down VHS to do that. So that's why I like that team. They generally explain that stuff, so we're not like, oh, you're idiots. They're like, no. This is why. Kenobi says, I hope everyone hope y'all have a great one. And he's saying Merry Christmas to the fam and everybody in the chat. XOXO. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to head out. I am happy that I don't have to go to work today for once after the show. So I'm going to chill. And hopefully all of you get to chill as well. It's been a fun year. This is not the last stream of the year or anything like that, but it's been a fun year. Thankful for all of you. You guys showing up every week for this show, Hey Archer Live, Team Replay, podcast, Instagram, all that fun stuff. We greatly appreciate all of you. Hopefully you have some fun, you can relax, and yeah, next year is going to be a good one. Next year is going to be a good one. Exactly, T3. T3 is also glad he does not have to work today, so there you go. Did any of you, I mean, we buy all year round, but put in the chat if you guys gifted yourself something a little extra special this year for this holiday season. I think for me, I think the two in a box was my gift to myself. I still have a hot toy to unbox, so I'm gonna work on that video at some point too. So that's gonna be a fun one. Check out the replay for Hey Archer Live last week. Unboxed Cliff Burton and Lemmy over there. So that was a good one. And yeah, more unboxings and stuff will be coming out this coming year. Be a good time. Been gifting myself all year. I feel you on that. Hey Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. But every Monday morning, 9 a.m.-ish. It wasn't too bad today. 9:02, I think. Here on Nerd Affiliated, you have Nerdy Coffee. Two different shows, two different vibes. Either way, you're stuck with this guy. Like, comment, subscribe. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Talk to you guys on Thursday and in the new year. Peace. We're out of here.
Wow.